background music, so I'll
Perfect.
just one of these.
Perfect. Shout out Coug Connect. Shout out BYU football. Shout out the Esera family. This is the latest episode of the KSL.com Cougar Beat podcast. And we're just here getting to know Sean Walker from KSL.com, Jake Brandon from Coug Connect. And we're here getting to know the newest, I think we can call you the newest, BYU football player.
Yep.
Siale Esera. I know you formerly of Tenview High School.
Yes.
So shout out to the T-Birds. But you are officially a BYU football player. Signed, sealed, deliver, everything. First of all, thanks for joining us. But second of all, how do those words sound to you, man?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. The pleasure's all mine. Man, it's great, man. It's more of like a dream come true to me, you know. Just growing up, being a BYU fan, my whole life, my whole childhood was coming to every home game I could, and now being able to see myself come and be able to play in that same field is just a dream come true, you know. It's just crazy to think that I'm here right now.
So I just want to jumping off that, like we talked with, I had Jackson Bowers, right? I had him do an insider report like you did.
Yeah. And
he said that sealed the deal for him coming to BYU was he went to the ASU game and he saw the environment.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to play here. Well, you grew up going to BYU games.
Yes.
Is it kind of like crazy for you to know, like, now I'm going to be on the field and all of that's going to be like directed at me, right? Like, oh, when I make a play, it's going to be. Have you kind of thought about that?
No, yeah. It's just lingering in the back of my head. It's just saying like, because I've also been to like some of the other games that happened like recently, and just thinking like the support that BYU fans give, and especially like the vibe and the support and everything that they do, man, it's top notch, man. The way they cheer, the aura that they give off, man, is second to none. I really love that, and just to think that I'll be on that field one day, this upcoming season, playing for those fans. It's amazing. I think it's amazing.
It's exciting, man.
Yeah.
So full disclosure for Siale, for UCLA, full disclosure for the folks at home, even for Jake a little bit, because I haven't really shared this with you as much. But BYU didn't have a very normal signing day this year. And by normal, I mean usually there's some pomp and circumstances, a big like welcome ceremony, kind of welcome to the family, like, hey, now you're a part of the program and that sort of thing. And they didn't have all of that pomp and circumstance for various reasons. The scatter recruiting class was a little bit smaller. They're coming off of COVID when they couldn't do any of that stuff. But there was one recruit when he signed who was in the football offices. Am I allowed to share it? I think I'm allowed to share this. They put out photos of this and you were on video. You actually went to the football offices on signing day to make sure that your national letter of intent got in.
Yeah.
Were you just like that excited to kind of get to work to meet the coaches or that sort of thing? Did you want to make sure your letter got in? Like, what was kind of the process?
Well, no, it was just I was able to have the opportunity to meet all of them on signing day, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity to be able to see them on signing day and to just tell them that I'm all in, you know. And that was pretty much what that meeting was, and it was a great meeting. We were able to talk to Coach Hill and Coach Kalani and all the other coaches, especially some of the new ones that came in with Coach P. And so I'm very.
He's
excited.
official now. You can talk about him.
Okay, yeah. Okay. No,
Sione Pua, defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And,
we think he's probably going to be defensive line, edge rusher, probably working with you a decent amount, we imagine. Yeah.
So, yeah, just going into there and talking to those guys, just telling them, like, man, I'm all in, man. And it was great. It was a great experience for me. So.
That's awesome. What were you brought up Jay Hill, new defensive coordinator and assistant head coach. What were kind of some of your first impressions of him? Did you get to know Coach Hill at all in recruiting at all? I don't know how much Weber State recruited you, maybe.
Yeah. So not so much Weber State, but when he first came on, he started to do when he was first announced as the new coach. New coach there, he came down, did a home visit with my family, and it was one of the most in-depth and most detailed conversations and meetings we had as a family and a coaching staff. The way that he greeted my family and treated us and let us know the information and traditions and loyalty that he has to my family, and also that BYU has to my family as well, was it was very good. The experience was amazing. We were able to talk about my role coming in this upcoming 2023 season, going into the Big 12, and it was an amazing experience for me and my family, just to know that the reassurance of that I'll be in the right hands going into this next season.
For sure. And that was obviously during an open recruiting period, but it was also a pretty short drive to get from Coach Hill's new office to your home. You're from Provo,
Yes.
Kempview High School up the road, 6'3", 250-pound. BYU's got you listed as a linebacker. I keep
Yes.
wanting to call you a defensive end because you're
Yes.
a pass rusher like that, but we'll say linebacker because that's what they say. 4-star recruit by Rivals in 24/7 Sports, number 46 overall edge rushing prospect in the nation, number 4 overall recruit in Utah, and a Polynesian Bowl invitee. So congrats.
Yes. Thank you.
What was it about BYU? You touched on this a little bit already, but what was it about BYU that kind of stood out and made you want to not just commit, but also re-solidify your commitment, sign on the dotted line? Because I understand there were several programs that were making kind of a late push for you.
Yes.
To acquire your services, and obviously with the defensive staff being a little bit in flux like it was, like what kind of stood out about BYU for you?
First off, just the way that they valued my family was a big part in that, and just the relationships that I was able to build, especially that because they're a home team, I was able to build a really close and tight relationship with the coaches, with Coach Kalani and Coach Hill as he came in. And so I feel like there was a bond that just clicked when I would meet them. And when we would talk, it wouldn't be like I would have to I was treading lightly when I had to talk to them. I could be myself and just talk however I wanted, and it was just a great experience just to meet them. I think that was one of the biggest parts and biggest plays going into my commitment and my signing, was that I was able to talk to them and feel all right and good about everything that I was doing around them. And just for that to happen, it felt like it just clicked in me that this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a lot of. I mean, you barely even mentioned football in that entire description. I don't know if you did that intentionally or if you didn't even notice, but it sounds like there's more than just football that's kind of attached to this commitment here at BYU. So let's get to know you. I want to ask about you as a football player in a minute, but let's get to know you as a non-football player.
Okay.
Who is Siale Esera? What kind of a guy is he? What do you like to do? What do you do when you're not playing football, I guess?
Man, I honestly, but if I'm not playing football, then I'm either at training or I'm spending time with my family, I think.
So there isn't much of a non-football.
There's football takes a big chunk of my life, but I love it nonetheless. It's a sport that I love, and that I would love to play in the future. And so, but I love to spend time with my family. My family is one of the biggest parts of my life. Apart from Heavenly Father, my favorite things to do, I like reading. I love reading, light novels.
What are you reading right now?
This other book just called Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is a pretty good book, but it's really long. So I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it's really long. But yeah, I think that's about me.
That reminds me of, minus the reading, when we asked Soljay, what was it? It was Trevin or Trey. They asked Soljay on the stream last week, Soljay, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? I like mixing kava. I like playing football. I like training for football. It's a very simple man. He knows what he likes. He knows exactly what he likes. You got family and reading there. Soljay was just very, I like to do 3 things. That's it. So
Siale Esera, I like to say too, is very much a football player.
Yeah.
I've seen you play 8 different positions on defense.
Yes.
Literally, I think I saw you play nose tackle.
Yes.
Briefly for a game. Mm-hmm. I remember watching you against just this past year against Skyridge, where I had always associated you as an edge rusher, and you were suddenly playing a whole bunch of Mike linebacker in that game, going sideline to sideline and stuff. Yes. So what kind of a player are you? Where do you sort of see yourself in BYU's defense, or maybe more important, where do you think you can contribute best in this type of a defense? Do you see yourself coming off the edge? Do you see yourself in the middle of a D? Do you see yourself, do you like putting your hand in the dirt kind of a thing? Where do you kind of see yourself?
Honestly, I love, middle linebacker has been one of my best experiences with football, man. Going into this next season, that's what I want to play here at BYU, is probably Mike linebacker, middle linebacker. And so just being able to have your hand in everything the defense does, I feel like that is like something that I love to do.
Sure.
And so it's not like where the end is fun and everything. The end is not. I love the end being the end and edge rusher.
You do that pretty well for what it's worth. So.
Thank you. But if the ball goes another way, you could make the play, but it's very hard for you to make up that much ground. Whereas if you're a Mike linebacker and the ball goes the other way, you're already in the middle of the field that you're able to go and cause disruption even wherever the ball goes. And so I feel like that's something that I love to do, that I have my hand in all parts of the defense and disrupting the offense and making plays. I feel like that's where I could do the most damage is at Mike linebacker. So
now, I hate to break it to you, Siale, but you do know that BYU's got a pretty good tradition of linebackers.
Yes.
Right? Fred Warner, Kyle Van Noy, your Cuzzo, Keenan Peely, the Peely brothers. Even just on this year's team, the guys like Ben Bywater, Max Tooley. Are you willing to live up to that expectation? Because that's pretty lofty expectations right there.
Yes, that does come up with a lot of expectations. But, man, I'm willing to take it on full stride, man. With those expectations coming, man, I'm ready to hit them. So
it reminds me kind of like Noah Sewell. You covered that Orem team. I think you were at that game when I called the O against that Orem team for Spanish Fork. But that's what he reminds me, like his body type, his athleticism, a lot of things. Like he's the Mike Backer for the Ducks, right? Like that's what I kind of feel like is a good comparison, a good comp for a D1 middle linebacker. So do you know Noah very well? Are you familiar with him?
Yes, so that's also my other cousin.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So,
are you related to the Swools?
Yes, on my dad's side. So,
okay.
Yes, so I trained with him freshman, sophomore year.
Right here.
No, yeah. I trained with him a lot during freshman, sophomore year, and then when he left, then he left, and so I ended up just training on my own. And going in junior year, I played a lot of edge my junior year, and then coming up this senior year, I was able to play middle linebacker, which I thought was so fun and the best experience I've ever had.
He made a huge impact, even with his. So you have a similar body type, similar level of athleticism, but he made a huge impact on that defense because of exactly what you said. He was able to kind of be an eraser in the middle of the field and make some mistakes. Some gap assignments that weren't sound just disappear fast. So that's exciting. Exciting to have a guy like that on the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. First team All-State, 5A All-State by the Deseret News. First team All-Region, All-Valley selection by the Daily Herald here locally in Utah County. 76 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception in 2022, and then reached the Utah 5A state championship game. One of the coldest games I've ever covered.
Oh, yes.
That Stadium. Did that get to you guys too? Because I was freezing.
Oh, no, yeah. I was so cold because, man, sadly, I wasn't able to play. Doc wasn't able to clear me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Doc, my knee was too bad, but Doc wasn't able to clear me. But I tried to cheer my team on, called the defense, helped my coach call the defense, and it was a great game, man. We fought hard, but it wasn't hard enough, you know what I mean? But props to my Team Few defense, man. We were doing good, love those guys, man. I love the bond that we shared. But
there's a lot of faces on that Team Few defense and offense that are joining us at BYU. Who are some of your teammates that are coming into BYU, or maybe there's some like Raider who are Team View guys too who are coming home? Like, who are some of those guys are excited to play with?
Oh no, yeah, I'm excited to play with Raider and Pokai and Mote. But yeah, just those guys coming in, especially Raider coming back. Haven't seen that dude in forever, but I know he'll do good things for our defense. And Pokai, man, one of the most athletic receivers I've ever seen in my life. He is so good. I feel like he'll do wonders for our offense, especially with this upcoming season with Epps coming back and all these other offensive weapons that we have. And for that to happen and him coming in, I feel like he'll play a big role in this upcoming season.
So I've heard some stories of some 7-on-7 you guys were doing early in the year, and that he was like blowing up.
Oh yeah,
in the 7-on-7s, and then he got hurt. Tell us a little bit about how he was performing or making all this hype, because I was hearing hype around him too. So
no, man, Pokai, he's one of a kind athlete. He's very athletic. He's fast. He's he understands the game really well. I feel that's one thing people say that, oh, it's all athleticism, but man, he's very book smart to the game. He's really good with that, and man, he's just a very athletic person. I feel like he could do a lot of things. So,
and the most common player comp I get about him, and you have to go back a little ways to do this, is Reno Mahe, and that's a super exciting player comp as well, right? Like, because you're familiar.
I think Reno stopped growing when he was about Pokai. Too.
But Reno could run at you.
I'm allowed to say that because I'm 5'0".
Reno could run at you as a safety on a seam, and then without slowing down, he just change direction and go that way. Go that way, like big out or a dig or something, like just change directions so fast. Yeah. So that gets me super excited to have someone like that compared to that.
Yeah.
Pokai was a two-way player that I love covering at Timview. So I'm gonna flip that around on you because I know you were a defensive specialist, like I said, edge rusher, linebacker, a little bit of interior lineman even. Yes. We won't tell Coach Pua that too much. we want you to stick to linebacker. I never saw you play offense though.
Oh no, yeah.
Can we get you to play some fullback? Maybe line up in the slot, light some dudes up.
Hey, man, if any of those guys want me to play offense, I'll be more than happy to do so.
You remember the scrum with Kairos?
Oh yeah,
used to run. He scored on the one option.
Scrum package
really?
Right here.
Yeah. He was the starting nose tackle. What was he? 330 something? 335.
Let's line up Siale in front of Gabe Judy Lally running the ball. Like you can just block for him.
Hey, I'm down to play any offense that they want me to play.
Coach A-Rod, look out!
Here we go. We're coming for you. Awesome. Well. Siale, thanks again for joining us for a couple of minutes. Get to know you a little bit. Get to know you with our viewers on the stream and on the podcast feed and whatnot.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to keep you around here. Is there just anything else that you kind of want to talk about? Oh, let's get you out of here on this with your immediate plans, because you're a big reader, so you're obviously an academic guy. You've signed on with the class. What are your plans kind of moving forward? When do you expect to join up with your new teammates at BYU and that kind of thing?
So I've been going through my high school. Going through high school has been it's been a blast. I love Timview. I love everything that they stand for. But man, I'm ready to leave. Yeah.
You're a little chunky.
Yeah. But yeah.
We were all high schoolers once. We get it.
Ryder Burton, same way, man. He's like, remember when he was on? He's like, I got 36 days left in high school or something.
Yeah, we were all there once. It's fine.
Yeah, but I'll be staying. I'll be enrolling in the summer. My mom and my family, my dad, my sister, we all decided as a consensus that it would be best for me to just finish out the school year and spend time a little bit more as a teenager before I head out to college, in the summer. But yes, I'll be joining in the summer.
Okay.
Then I'll be there for until the next season starts. So
I like the way you phrase that. We all decided that it would be best for Siale to attend senior prom.
Yes, that's what everyone keeps saying, man. They said, well, yeah, you always have to experience your senior prom. I'm like, man, if dances are for you, they're for you. Not for me, man.
I like this guy. I like this guy. I like the way you think.
It's been good. Dances.
I hear you. Well, there will be no more dancing on this stream, no more dancing on this podcast feed. But thanks so much, Siale, Esera. Thanks for joining us here on the Cougar Review podcast. Shout out Coug Connect, CougConnect.com. I think we can officially call you guys the oldest NIL collective.
We are
at BYU.
A BYU admin referred to us as the OG collective.
The OG. There you go.
That's what they call us.
So CougConnect.com if you want to get involved. Get involved with Siale Esera right here. Former Timview High linebacker now.
Yes.
And soon to be BYU Mike.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Siale.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Appreciate it.